Everybody, it's Ronnie with Whip and Chain. Maggie and I bring you these beautiful crochet tutorials. Today we got a cute one. It's a little purse, or I'm going to use this as a garden bag. Whatever you want to do with it, it works out good. We're using only 100% cotton yarn. I'm using a stash bustine, so I just grabbed yellows that I had. Works up really nice. And it actually works up really freaking quick. Ha 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 ha. Really quick. So let's dive into it. Let's go. All right, let's have some fun with this purse. I am using what I have. I'm not going out and buying stuff. So I have rings, one yellow, one brown. Nothing wrong with that. Now my rings are about 6 inches. Okay. I am using Hobby Lobby yarn because all of Michael's cotton yarn is breaking easy. They are outsourcing it outside the country to have it dyed, and it's breaking, whatever they're doing. I don't consider their yarn very reliable, especially for projects that I want to hold. I want them to hold. So I am using Hobby Lobby's. Their yarn holds. Now, their cotton yarn, this purse bag, I will strongly recommend you use the crochet hook that is recommended. This one is recommending a 5mm. So I'm going to put my 4.5 away, and I am going to get my 5. All right. So let's have some fun. And you need both purse handles to start this, so. All right, I'm using yarn that I had here. Nothing wrong with that, right? So I'm gonna take my yarn, I'm gonna do a little slip knot. I'm gonna put my hook around. Tighten that up a little bit. And do a chain. Now do a real single crochet around it. There you go. Just like that. All right. Now, let's chain 50 and see what that looks like. Just chain it. I'm gonna chain 51, 2, and I'll be right back. I ended up chaining 70. I didn't like 50 length. So now, make sure, this is really important, make sure your chain is not twisted. Take your time with it. All right. And then you take the other handle, and then you're going to go around it and do a single crochet. It feels weird, I know. There we go. Now I want you to use the back bars, the back horizontal bars, and we're going to put a single crochet in each one of them. So just go down, make sure nothing's twisting. So one single crochet in each horizontal bar. So I'm going to do that. I'll be back. Okay. So now, when you put a single crochet in every bar of the horizontal bars, you want to make sure that nothing is twisted. Very, very important. So, and then after you're at the end, it's my tail. You're at the end, go around the bar. I'm trying really, really hard not to go over my other yarn, but don't stress. It's all good, and you do a single crochet. Then we're going to pivot. We're going to move it around. And then you're going to put a single crochet and back loop only all the way down. Back loop only, single crochet. Now you can make this longer if you want. Instead of the chains that I did, you can do whatever you want. But it's back loop only, single crochet all the way down, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I'm coming up on the end. It feels weird, guys, so don't think that it don't. It's okay. Make sure you get every last stitch. Okay. Then you go around the handle and do a single crochet. Okay. Then we turn. I know, lots of noise with the handles, isn't it? Crazy. And then you just do back loop, single crochet. And you're just going to keep repeating this over and over and over until you get the width that you want. So I'm going to keep doing this until I got the width that I want, and I will meet you back. Okay, so I didn't count, but I did as many rows as you want to do. Like I said, do as many as you want to do. It's totally up to you. So I did seam one side shut. I'm going to show you how to seam the other side shut. But when we're seaming shut, guys, it's really important that the wrong side be on the inside. So this is what I would consider the wrong side. So that's on the inside. And this is what the outside looks like. You can pick, it's up to you. So now what you want to do, you want to fold it obviously together and count your stitches. Okay? Count your stitches and then break it in half. So I had 38 stitches, 68 stitches, so 34, half of 34. So I counted down to 34 and I put a stitch marker. So again, count your total stitches. I had 68. Half of 68 is 34. So I counted down to 34 and I marked it. So now you want to take a darning needle and get yourself some thread. We're going to do what's called the mattress stitch. Okay, so I'm going to thread my needle, my darning needle, if I can. I really need to get one of those threaders. Okay. Now, I marked my half. And right there it is. So now what we're going to do, you're going to take your darning needle, and with this we're going to work on the stitches that are closer together on the inside. So this, if you smush it together, you're going to work on the stitches that are the one that's farthest away from you, the one that's like, I don't even know how to explain it. You're going to work on the inside loops of each stitch, the inside. So if you're looking at the piece that's closer to you, you're going to work on the loop that's farthest away from you. If you're looking at the piece that's furthest away from you, you're going to work on the loop that's closer to you, so the inside loops. Okay, so I'm going to go underneath and up on that loop. Now remember, leave the tail pointed down and away, but on the outside. We're not making a knot. All right, and then you're going to go down and up on the next stitch that's right next to you. Underneath and up. Okay, then you go into the next stitch on the other side, underneath and up. Always underneath and up, guys. You go into the next side, underneath and up. Underneath and up. Underneath and up. Always, always underneath and up. So you're just going to do one loop in each side, underneath and up. Underneath and up. So you're going to do this, but up here at the top, you're going to leave a 2-inch gap because you need to be able to open it. So 2 inches is right about here. So we're going to work our way all the way up until we get to about that stitch, and then we're going to stop. And I'm going to show you how to cinch it shut, so keep doing that all the way up. Okay, so I've been just sewing up. I'm going to put my darning needle. I can't think of names today. Oh my gosh, I'm having one of those days. In that very last one that I marked. And I'm going to go through the other side. Make sure you do both sides. Now, guys, check before you finish this that this opens as far as you want it to open, guys. All right, that's really important. So I'm content with it. I like it. So I'm going to take my stitch marker out. Now, these ends that I told you not to tie in, we're going to pull. And if you're watching, look at that. It all came together and you can't see the seam. And what's nice about this seam, guys, you can't even see it unless you're really, 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 really looking. So it looks like it's crocheted all the way around without even a seam. Isn't that like absolutely gorgeous? I love it. I love it. I love it. So now all you have to do is weave in your ends. Now this top one, make sure you weave it in nice and tight, going on the inside down. Let me do that. Be right back. Okay, so I weaved in all my ends. And popped at the corner. Look at how adorable this is, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Now this can be a purse. This one is going to be for me picking all my small tomatoes and whatever, like even my green beans I'm growing. Perfect for the garden and perfect if you want it to be a purse. So I am Ronnie. I work with Maggie to bring you these beautiful, beautiful crochet tutorials. Until next time, here at Whip and Chain, it's always a work in progress. See you guys later. Bye.